This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
So with motherhood, I feel like with the first kid, it's like, okay. And then I had my second kid, and I think that transition to thinking for two kids, I mean, you want to give them all your love and everything. And I felt so scattered and very unprepared. All of a sudden, I lost grip on anything to do with myself. I was wearing the same sweatpants and nursing tank every day because I didn't have enough brain power to think for something else.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by the lovely Bree Tucker.
Why, hello, everybody. How are you?
I was all bending down over my mic, and I'm like, I have an arm. I could just like move the mic up, and then I wouldn't have to bend down. It's so funny because I could actually relate this to today's interview about how we're constantly trying to shift ourselves about what we think expectations are, trying to fit in the same clothes, even though we've changed, trying to like reach down to the mic, even though it's easily movable and you can change the position anytime you want. All those things about change and like making sure you embrace yourself. And today's episode, Bree and I, we got really excited about color.
Yes, because I think that color can help bring you that energy. Just having something that looks good on you, I feel like, and the right colors can make you look energized, younger, happier. And part of the reason is probably because you are a little happier because you're like, oh my God, I look so good.
You look yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, I am fantastic. It's so funny because it reminds me that my daughter just got a hatch in her room. And, you know, we got it from this event we went to 2 weeks ago. And a hatch, if you're not familiar with it, it makes the light levels, like it starts increasing about 30 minutes prior to your alarm. And then you have a voice that gets you out of bed. She just set it up last night. She went through all the voices, and my husband she picked the drag queen voice, the one that's like, you look fabulous, sweetie, like you go out and you slay that day. And like that's kind of how you want to feel in the morning. You don't want to feel like all church nun like church covered nun. Up. I mean, I grew up at Episcopalian education. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But our guest today, Lindsey Meyers, she founded Created Colorful in 2020 while navigating being a new mom. Pouring energy she had into her kids, Lindsey slowly realized she had nothing left for herself, and hope came crashing into her life when she discovered color analysis, a process where each person has a set of colors that objectively flatters them. And from there, Created Colorful was born. Its goal is to help you love how you naturally look by providing real and honest shopping and styling advice, no matter your size, age, or season of life. And we love talking with Lindsey. We even invited her to our upcoming summit in March. So we hope you enjoy our interview with Lindsey Meyers.
You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast.
Talking about like the differences right before we started recording. You were talking, Lindsey, about you being in New York City. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely like love New York City. I'm going with my daughter in November, and we're going to go do like the shows and see the Rockette Christmas Spectacular and everything. Where in the city are you?
I'm 2 blocks from a subway station, and that subway can take me right into the city fast enough to, if I have a 2-hour window, go shopping and make my way back. And
oh, nice.
I don't have a car. We sold our cars when we moved here.
That would be ideal. And especially you running a fashion company, I imagine that New York City and being like the hub of fashion was just a really great choice for you. How did moving there affect your business as it is?
That's great. Definitely the inspiration, because where I was in a small town in North Carolina, like our mall had an American Eagle and like just a couple fashion stores you could go to. So I did most of my shopping online, but I've learned a lot. I kind of like go down these rabbit trails and I'm geeking out about like fashion history and learning designers and things. And like I go to like the Nordstrom flagship store and I go to like the bottom floors that I can't afford that are like the really expensive stuff. And I treat it like a museum and I just like go up and like look at the dresses and I'm like, this is so pretty. So it's been very inspiring and fun. And I think just learning and becoming more familiar with different brands that are more colorful has been fun for me.
I looked on your site, Created Colorful, and it was just a burst and inspiration of color. And I loved it so, so much. As I was reading about you, you started out learning about color analysis when your kids were really little and you just felt like you lost yourself. What was that initial desire? Like, how did you first find color analysis?
So with like motherhood, I feel like with the first kid, it's like, okay, I was like breastfeeding. I'll just hold the kid up and breastfeed him all the time. And that was like, it worked. And then I had my second kid and I'm starting to now realize I think I have ADHD. And I think that transition to thinking for two, right? Thinking for two kids.
Both of us. Yes.
Who need different things at the same time and you want to give them all your love and everything. And I felt so scattered and very unprepared. All of a sudden, I lost grip on anything to do with myself, you know? So, I mean, I was like wearing the same sweatpants and nursing tank every day because I didn't have enough brain power to think for something else.
Yep.
And, you know, you just do what you can to survive. And so that was like the backdrop of when I learned about the color stuff, just feeling very like, can I even do this for another day, you know? And one of my friends got her colors done. And in the group chat, they were all like, oh, yeah, like, I think I'm this. I think I'm that. I'm like, what is this colors thing? I felt out of the loop and like I suddenly needed to know. I used to do pet portraits, like paintings. That's where Created Colorful started. Yeah. So I was really interested in like color mixing. And I was like, oh, I'm probably a winter because I wear all black. And then like a quick Google was like, redheads are very rarely winters. And then that pummeled me into a little bit of an identity crisis. But coming out of it and doing a lot of research to realize what color palette I'm a warm autumn, which means I look good in like vibrant kind of earthy greens and like a lot of this stuff that I'm wearing. I went to Target and bought a rust colored t-shirt, like a $5 t-shirt that was in my colors and like put it on. And I looked in the mirror and like, you know, I have dark brown eyes and I just always thought they were like crap, you know, like boring. And I looked in the mirror and it's like, I could see all the dimension in my eyes. And I just looked in the mirror and felt pretty. And I was like,
Oh my God.
you know, and I realized that
The overwhelming joy.
yes, like hope is what it felt like because I used to be interested in fashion. Like in college, I thought I was like, you know, cool going to the clubs or whatever. And I just felt like I slowly chipped away in like motherhood and, you know, maternity clothes. And like, so when I like learned my colors, it was like, oh, even just a t-shirt in my color, when I look at the mirror a million times a day as I go to the bathroom and do all these things with the kids, like I felt, oh, I'm still pretty, you know?
I love that. And color is so attainable for most people too. Like it doesn't
Right.
matter your budget, you can get something in a color that best suits you.
I love it. For everybody. It's like literally every single person it applies to. And when the business started, like I didn't mean for it to be a business. It was like a PSA to like my painting audience. I was like, I hope other moms know that like you might be feeling like really washed out and it's might be just the color you're wearing. And like you can literally just change the color and you might feel so much better. And like your body didn't change, your life circumstances didn't change, your tiredness level didn't change, but like I don't know, for me colors like helped me see myself again and value myself, and it really snowballed from there for my confidence.
Yeah.
What do you do in a color analysis. What happens there? All I know is like you submit a picture and then suddenly you're told all these colors. Like, what are people looking for when they do color analysis?
So we do it virtually, and we have people submit selfies, like no makeup, natural light, and we tell you certain kinds of colors to try and find. You don't have to have all of them, but we're looking for a couple warm colors, a couple cool colors, light, dark, bright, and faded. And it's pretty complicated. There is AI, but a lot of times they're just like, oh, brown eyes, red hair, you're this. And it's just like, who cares?
Right.
Like, it matters to me because, like, knowing my story, if it can really help you feel the best about yourself, I'm super detailed about it. So like we hand trained our people for like a year each to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
But there's just subtle differences, usually in your skin tone. There's patterns of how people react. So for me as a warm autumn, if you see somebody who ends up being a warm autumn, a lot of times if they wear like grays, their face will go really orange looking. And if they wear like a really light dusty color, you can look gray. If you wear a bright color, your face can go in a shadow. So there's a lot to know to do it for different ethnicities and skin tones and features. And we are also analyzing the lighting. If sometimes every picture looks a little bit orange, it's because you're standing a little too close to the sunset, or you look a little green and it's because there's trees in the window that you're facing or you're backlit. So like we have somebody on our team who will look at your first round of photos and give you lighting advice, like, hey, the room you're in, face a little bit more this way, or make sure you close the blinds behind you. And then we ask for
That's really useful for our jobs.
Oh my God. If you don't know yours yet, it's so useful.
Oh, I'm like, where have you been my whole life, Lindsey?
I'm here now. It's not too late.
That's kind of how I felt, Lindsey, when I was looking at your site. I'm like, wait, could it be like this easy? Because here's the struggles, Lindsey. Actually, we're going to talk about our struggles with you after this next break.
Did you know that Americans take about 20,000 breaths a day and spend an average of 90% of their time indoors? And the indoor air quality that we breathe can be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air, according to the EPA. Indoor air pollutants can cause respiratory symptoms like sneezing, congestion, scratchy throat, and even more serious health problems like lung and heart disease. So what's the solution? Introducing Air Doctor, the air purifier that filters out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants so your lungs don't have to. This includes allergens, pollen, pet dander, dust mites, mold spores, and even bacteria and viruses. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, you just send it back for a refund minus the shipping. So head to airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code NGM, and you'll receive up to $300 off air purifiers. And exclusive to podcast customers, you will also receive a free 3-year warranty on any unit, which is an additional $84 value. Lock in the special offer by going to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code NGM. The holiday season is here, and Jenny Kane is our go-to destination. They have everything you need, from luxurious clothing and shoes to candles and home decor and so much more. Check out their iconic gift guide if you're looking to effortlessly check everyone off your list. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order. Go to jennykane.com and use the code GUILT15 to get 15% off. Now, Joanne and I have our favorite pieces. Hers is the crop cashmere cocoon cardigan in ivory, and I have to say it looks stunning on her, and she has said it is so cozy. Mine is the alpaca cocoon crew neck in their seasonal design, ivory with pinstripes. I love how I can wear it with leggings just to veg out at home, or pair it with some cute boots and jeans for an evening out. It's amazing. So gift yourself and your loved ones the best gift of all, Jenny Kane. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use the code GUILT15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code GUILT15. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
So, Lindsey, we were talking about color analysis and how just knowing your colors can help you feel more confident, feel pretty when you look in the mirror.
Yes.
I know that so many times with clothing, it is a nightmare for women. I wish that I could just adopt a uniform like Steve Jobs did and just put it on every day sometimes, on one hand. On the other hand, I really do look like dressing up and feeling pretty and wonderful and all that. And then on the other hand, I'm putting three hands in.
There's
because-
so many hands. We're moms. We're built as octopuses. We have like a bazillion hands.
There's too many hands. The overwhelm is real.
Yeah.
You mentioned having ADHD. And when I have to think about too many things, I shut down. I shut those things out of my life. And I feel like the same has been done in terms of clothing lately. So for that overwhelmed mom who's out there and wants to start looking pretty, what do you suggest is the first thing that she do?
Yes. Well, I mean, color analysis? No.
Yes.
The reason that I think that's like actually one thing that I've loved about it is that's my exact target audience to the T. A woman, a lot of times a mom, who has no clue where to start with fashion and maybe has gone through a transition in her life recently. And when things about your lifestyle change, the clothes that you wear change. You know, we went through the pandemic. Everybody went from like working in an office to working at home. And then they're like, who am I now? And where do I even start? The reason I think colors is a good place to start is because as like an ADHD girly, it's a dopamine hit. When you see yourself in a color, you're like, okay, well, this is one thing I can start. I can go into the store. I can narrow down by this. And at least everything I try in the dressing room is going to, in some sense, look nice on me because it's like going to make my face glow. But like, I love seeing like women who like have never posted on social media before ever, you know, all of a sudden be like, do a story like, hey, everybody, look how good I look, you know? And they may not even be wearing their exact right color, but it's like, it's close enough and they believe that it looks good on them. So they show up smiling and get excited. And that sort of like ignites the playfulness, which I feel like you need if you want to enjoy your clothes. Like you need to get back in touch with the playful side of yourself and be willing to try some things out and fail. I actually made an entire course for this, like Love Your Closet course, but basically it starts with like trying on certain things in your closet and looking in the mirror when you have it on. I have this thing that's it should be so obvious, but like people say that it's been helpful, the face test. So you put something on and just look at your facial expressions the second that you put it on. Like the second you look up in the mirror, tuning into that, because there's certain things in your closet that maybe you saw it, an Instagram influencer do it, so you bought it. But when you put it on, something in your gut is like, this isn't me. And that is such your guide. Like, forget what everybody says in fashion. Like, if you stick to like what you look in the mirror and you see and it feels like you right now, like keep running with that. And for me, I'm like, I like to analyze things. So work backwards. What is it that I like about this? Is it the cut? Is it the shape? Is it the fabric? And if you do that, then even if you're bumping along and making mistakes and buying things that you try on, you realize, oh, it's not me. You can just return it and keep playing around, keep looking at Pinterest and not letting somebody else tell you what you are supposed to wear. Like when you feel great in it, you're going to show up with that energy everywhere you go. And people will just start to be like, well, that's Joanne. That's Brie.
I think you said something really important is to bring that play in, because I look at it sometimes clothes as a job. It's like, I have to get this right, else I will not be taken seriously. Else like I won't look good. Else, you know, it's this bum to like the whole clothing process. Like there's no play in it for me. You also mentioned like big life change. I mean, a lot of us life changes in terms of like our kids being, you know, older now. Perimenopause brings on some weight, and it's not cool. It's not,
and it not only brings on weight, it also brings on where things are uncomfortable. You have, for me, like having to dress in layers because I have to be able to cool off. I'm not having full-fledged hot flashes, thank freaking God, but what I'm having are enough that I'm like, I tank tops every day. So yeah.
with the weight issue, so much of it is like you don't want to throw out all your clothes because you feel like you have that little tiny hope in the back of your mind that you're going to lose the weight and it's going to get back there. But then you get to the point, I'm here at this point now. I've gained like 20 pounds in the past year and I'm done with feeling like tight in clothes. Like I don't want clothes to feel tight anymore. With color analysis, how could that be brought in with like also dressing for your weight? Because I also looking at all of the great body types you have on your website too, obviously you don't have to be thin to look good.
Yes.
So I guess I'm having a little vent session with you right now, Lindsey.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I have a whole episode on this in the course.
Pick it up.
Pick it up and run with it, girl. We're going into the end zone.
Yeah.
We're going in there. I think my tagline is find yourself in your closet. And I think that acceptance work, even if you don't love the changes that have happened to your body, if you start from today, I'm going to dress the body I have, the season of life I'm in. And, I talk about like, there's some like journaling, like when you look at your closet and you have a closet full of things that don't fit and you just look at them, you're like, ouch, like I'm already uncomfortable looking at it. Accepting that everybody goes through perimenopause, that like life changes have a real impact on your body. And it's not like your fault or something. It's like the way that life works, and making the decision that I'm just going to try it out with like wearing clothes that fit me today. Like just making that decision of the next time I go shopping, I like to pick out 3 sizes. Especially when I'm unsure exactly and things have started to feel tight, I pick out the size that I would usually get, the next size up, and the next size up from that. And it can kind of trick your brain and I start with the largest size when I try it on. That's just me. And it can like help you remember to like feel with your body. Like, does this feel comfortable? Sometimes if you go in to this dressing room, you just try on the size you always got and you're like, oh, I feel bad. I look lumpy to myself.
And you throw it out.
It doesn't
you're like,
feel right. And it's like, okay, I'm leaving the store, and I get it because that's really hard. But like if you start with a bigger size than you've usually gotten, I know some people shopping in store already doesn't have the sizes, and that really sucks about the industry. So when you're buying them online, do the same thing, buy a couple sizes up. For me, it's just been training my body to be like, oh, because I have like a more straight up and down body. And I didn't realize that for years, my like waistbands were totally digging in. I just thought,
that's me. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, this is just how pants fit. And then I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent.
No, please, we tangent away here. Did we mention we have ADHD?
I got a health exam for life insurance, during the pandemic. And they had me step on the scale and they were like, oh, does that number feel correct? And like, I hadn't stepped on the scale in years because I just don't like to mess with my mind in that way. And I looked and it was 25 pounds bigger than the last time I weighed myself. And I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's about right, I think. And then I all of a sudden realized, I'm like, wait a second, I've been wearing the same size pants this whole time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my pants hurt me so bad. It's really sad how like the world conditions us to like hold on so tight to a size and sit here hurting all day. And so
right, I am laughing about that because it is a real experience for me,
right?
And like I can tell also why it is, because you see these things, and actually Brie and I just watched a conference online, and 2 of the women there was like, yeah, I went through this really hard thing and I lost 40 pounds. And like, it's always supposed to be one of those like, good for you, you lost weight. That's the only message you hear. And that's usually the main message you see women proclaiming success about, that they lost weight. And when you hear that again and again and again, there's no doubt why we cling so tightly to that size we were before, even though we've grown in all ways, really. What were you thinking, Brie?
Well, I was just going to say in general, I think that sizes are dangerous anyway. And like, it really rips at your self-esteem. And it really makes it difficult. So when you find those pieces that just bring you joy and that make you be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely somebody who does like their clothes to be playful. Like I'm hurt a little bit today that I'm in a black t-shirt. Joanne and I are going to a concert tonight, and our daughters have told us that Our teenage daughters have told us that we have to wear black. It's like an unspoken thing. So we're both dressed for the concert already. But normally I'm much more like you. Like I like the I'm a jewel. I like that. I like being very colorful. I like people turning and like looking twice. I don't care if they're looking twice to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's actually wearing that. I don't care. It caught their attention and it's fun. So I love that.
Yeah. Yes. The actual directive I was given, Lindsay, is you better wear black, else you're going to get jumped at the concert. I'm like, I don't think it's that sort of crowd.
Jumped by the kids or?
You gotta love teens. Everything is so dramatic.
Teens are hilarious. Well, right after the break, Lindsay, I want to dig into the different types on the color palette and kind of give people a really broad overview. So we're going to do that right after this.
I've got a lot of grandbabies, like a lot. And when it comes to finding a gift for each of them, it could add up. But this year, while I was making my way through Walmart, I realized I don't have to spend a lot to get the gifts they'll love.
An OPI mini mani set. I'm gonna do so much nail art. Oh yeah, a Lego set. My own Awala water bottle.
Ooh, and that's just half of them.
Shop great gifts they're sure to love for $25 and under at Walmart.
Future you faces some big expectations. Work out more, go to bed earlier, and most importantly, make smart money decisions. Thankfully, today you has Bank of America. One place with tools and guidance to help balance tasks from budgeting to saving. So you can just be you with big plans. Do more with a bank that asks, what would you like the power to do? Explore our tips and more at bankofamerica.com/futureyou.
Big news! The Burger King Whopper lineup just got bigger. Now featuring the $1 Million Whopper Contest top 3. There's something for street corn stands, bourbon barbecue fans, and fried pickle lovers. You gotta try them.
You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Participating U.S. restaurants. Limited time only while supplies last.
So I'm curious, Lindsay, as we were talking about our teen daughters before the break. Actually, I guess it's a 2-question. First of all, do you guys do the colors for men too? I would assume so. I mean, because it's
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
All different gender identities.
Perfect. Sure. And then do you do it for teens?
Yes. So we do it for 14 and above. That's because earlier than that, your coloring is like evolving through puberty and stuff. But like,
right.
Oh my gosh, we have these people on our team. Their role is called encouragers, and they basically translate the scientific kind of color information and based on the person's survey. And they usually put in things. I mean, people will be putting like, I've just been through a divorce, or like, I hate my body, or like different things, like being really vulnerable, which is so sweet. And the encouragers will kind of, when I saw you in this exact color, I noticed this rim around your eyes and you like lit up in this. Could you see it? And when they get a teenager and get to like speak words of life over them, it's their favorite thing.
This is fun.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do this for my husband because I know that he's wearing some colors that I don't like.
You said it, not me.
I said it. No, I mean, it's true when people like.
Mm-hmm. My husband did it, like I did his colors. He's a deep winter. And that was actually part of my process. Like he was one of the first people, and he's Guamanian, Pacific Islander, like Maui. We joke he looks like, with the long curly hair and everything. When he first of all, he was already wearing black, which was one of his good colors, but he went and got this like long pea coat for the winter in New York. That's like this burgundy color. And he feels like a king when he wears it. And like people will walk by and be like, just like guys will like give him the eye, and it's super cool. A sweet little flex for them.
I love that.
I wonder if I can convince my husband. I'd be like, this is something fun we could do together. It'll be great. It'll make your shopping so much easier.
Color party, girls. You've been asking me what I want to do for my birthday, Joanne. We're going to have a color party.
I love it. I'm already seeing the themes. I mean, the decorating for that would be insane.
I like it.
And we all do our color analysis pictures together.
Lindsay, what are like the different color palettes that people can be? And then I also want to ask, can you tell people's color palettes just by looking at them?
Ooh.
Like, can you tell mine and Bree's just by looking at us what we are?
I get asked that all the time. I'm not. People always think I'm judging them based on the colors they wear. Like people come over to my house like for dinner and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, it's about you feeling great. Like I could care less.
Yeah.
No, I can't tell your exact palette from seeing you in one color, especially if I haven't been around you or seen lots of pictures of you, then I don't know. It's like not having a baseline to know, are you looking your best or is there something out there that's even better? Or like, but I can usually, I mean, I can see a little bit of like sometimes undertones and rule some things out for sure. Like I could probably guess within a few palettes out of the 14 that I have. But yeah, I really think people try and simplify it. And I'm like, if I can't tell your colors as someone who's done 20,000 of these, I don't think someone else can just look and tell it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 4 basic seasons. In springs in general wear brighter colors, like shine in brighter colors, and colors that are either neutral warm to warm. And autumns also do warm colors, but they do colors that are from faded to like slightly muted, not bright neon. And they tend to do a little bit deeper colors, whereas springs tend to do medium to lighter colors. And winters do bold, saturated colors that are from neutral cool to cool. And they tend to be medium to deep colors in general. And summers do slightly more faded colors on the cool spectrum, and they tend to be a medium to lighter. And so within that, there's sub palettes. You can think of it as just like a whole prism.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Like I could tell just from your description that I really gravitate to the bold saturated colors, but that may not be my color. The lipstick, yeah.
Those are great, by the way.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I loved your like lipsticks when I first like came on. I'm like, oh, I need to put on more lipstick.
We get that a lot.
Oh, we talk about the red lipstick.
I love it.
Our daughters were in dance, which like introduced us to the red lipstick.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we just bought this red lipstick for them. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it looks pretty good. Let's take it and run with it. That'll be good times. Well, Lindsey, it has been so amazing talking with you. We ask this of all guests. What are you most looking forward to right now in your life?
So this weekend, I'm flying to California to meet an internet friend that I've never met in real life, Bailey Scottman. And she does influencing. She's a model and does influencing for like body positivity. And she just seems like a fun girl who I'm more on the like hip hop and R&B side. And she likes country, but we both like bold and we both like having a drink. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun together. And she's having a closet sale.
Oh, wow.
And so she's inviting people from her audience, just girls out for a closet sale. And I'm going to do colors for some of them. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That sounds like so fun. Where is that going to be again?
LA, near LA.
It could be a +1 of a +1. Lindsey, you have something special for our audience that want to try this out. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I have a discount code for you guys. No guilt, all caps. And you can go to my website, createdcolorful.com, and that will give you $20 off either your virtual color analysis. We also have gift options, which is wonderful around this time of year. And I have the Love Your Closet audio course, which is kind of like the next step once you know your colors and you would just want the whole deal. You just want to know how to build a closet that you love.
Awesome. I'm trying to get my colors done. I'm so interested.
Oh, so
in
am
that.
I. Yeah.
I can't wait. Let's freaking do it.
It has been wonderful talking with you, Lindsey, and we'll talk with you later.
All right. See ya.
I'm definitely going to get my colors done, Brie. I'm going to get them done. Are you serious about this birthday party?
Oh, I'm not kidding. I'm thinking this might be the birthday. We will have wine and we will do our color pictures. It'll be amazing. This will totally beat the painting a pumpkin idea.
The painting a pumpkin? Do color analysis for sure. Well, take advantage of that code that Lindsey gave us because we have it right there in the show notes for you as well. Let us know how it goes. Tag us when you get your color analysis and you're wearing your color. Tag us, cheer you on.
Oh, yes. I want to see everybody's colors. I'm curious. I'm very curious how mine's going to go up because for me, you have a very natural look to you. And it's very flowy and natural.
Oh, thank you.
I dye my brown hair blonde, but only half of it blonde. So I have blonde and brown hair and blue eyes and red lipstick. And like, I'm very interested to see what my colors are going to come up as.
Yeah. Like, well, my hair color is not natural. I have like a very like dark blackish hair color. That's definitely dyed red. That's all color from my hairstylist, Danielle. Good job there.
Then I don't think I've ever actually seen your natural color than if it's like a dark brown.
No, I haven't had my natural color since I was 17. So no, I started dyeing at 17.
I love my stylist. Shout out to Kendra over at Broad Boulevard Salon. They do a great
Well, now
job.
I have to shout out mine, Danielle Jones, but she owns her own salon. So it's not a salon really. It's just go Danielle Jones. Yeah.
But yes, honestly, just talking to Lindsey made us just be so hyped up for this that I really, really want you guys to go check out createdcolorful.com. Use that code of no guilt, get $20 off. It looks like a blast.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. So until next time, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
When it comes to raising kids, there's so much to consider. Things like, what do we feed them? When do we feed them? How do they sleep? What does it look like to raise kind kids? How does their nervous system work? How do I keep myself calm? What are my triggers? There's so much that comes into play, and we are distilling all of that information for you at Voices of Your Village podcast, where we bring experts in the field of early childhood and education and psychology and across the board so that you don't have to comb the internet for information. You get to show up and hang out and have shame-free, judgment-free conversations and insights into what it looks like to raise kind, empathetic, emotionally intelligent humans. I'm Alyssa Blask Campbell. I have a master's degree in early childhood education. I'm a mom of 2, and I am walking this journey right alongside you doing this work. Come hang out with me at Voices of Your Village, and we can dive into real conversations with actionable tips.